Ps5. Take off them fabricated streams and the microwave memes. It's a real world outside. Take off your idols. Take off the runway. Take off the Cairo. Take off the Sandro pay. 5 days stay. Take a quarter meal. Hella final. Take off the fuck flag. Take off perception. Take off the cop with the iPad. Take off the allure. Take off the unsure. Take off decisions I lack. Take off the fake deep. Take off the fake woke. Take off the I'm broke. I care. Take off the gossip. Take off the new logic. That if I'm rich, I'm real. Take off the should know. Take off the doje. Take off the Birkin bag. Take all that designer off and what do you have?
You ugly. You out of pocket. 2 ATMs. You stepping or what? You out.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight we kick off Week 13 with a great Thursday night.
Why would I ever have to cop a chain a game when the QB chain birthed most of the chains in the game? No post office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies, family size. Leather bombers and Nike Sacai's. Dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrives. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know her way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record-breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused boy, little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this. Run me the key.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight we kick off Week 13 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Cleveland Browns. Ready to get us started, it's Cade York, and this one is underway here on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Gibson. 7 yards there and a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson gets hit and he fumbles it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Here's Hal to throw on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. Gosh, when you've got Deshaun Watson, Charles, executing a run-pass option, that puts the defense in a tough spot, does it not?
It does, and what I liked is that you called me this week, watching your own video, your own tape, and you said, I think the runner's going to pop a few this week because of what we've seen from Deshaun Watson. His ability to get to the corner, that's where the focus will go.
Well, that's one of the drawbacks of running the RPO. If those linemen go into run block mode, you can't throw it if they're more than a yard downfield.
No time now.
Watson now to throw. Open man, it's Jalen Darden. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Browns take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On the counter, Gibson. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Well, this defense for the Browns, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down. They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Browns are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Well, it's certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
The Browns drive about to get started. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here. This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for Cleveland. 59 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll run with Chubb. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Watson. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 14-0. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Powell. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
Here's Howell. He's going deep for Brown. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. And the Browns are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards.
He's got a man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Well, still in the 1st quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the 1st as they kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. 21-0 our score after 1. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Got a man, it's De'Ami Brown, complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Kevin Stefanski consulted with his guys above, and they've told him, throw that challenge flag. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. Shifts by him. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll go again here with Hubbard. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
On second down, here's a run with Hubbard. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Howell. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ramsey. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he is going to have a Washington 1st down. They didn't get a lot, but they do convert on 4th. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard. Maybe a touch less. Gets this out quickly to Dodson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw, Watson. He finds his man, complete. That's Dawson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. The Browns had 3 and 8 on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2.
No time now.
Watson on first down. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's going to get this down inside the 5 before he's out of bounds. A big play that time for Cleveland. 45 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They'll give it to Chubb, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. How you like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you?
Powell out of his own end zone. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Throwing again on second down. Powell, he finds his man. Complete. It's Ramsey. And they will have a first down as they are definitely in field goal range now down at the 20-yard line.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Powell's throw complete to Dotson. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
He finds his man, complete. That's Ramsey. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Powell. Throw left side complete. That's Ramsey. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Powell to the air on first and 10. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Take it in at the 3. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Out of the gun, it's Howell. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he's going to be taken down short of the 1st, right around the 15-yard line. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball to the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure, because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25, so at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. again on first down, Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Got a man, it's Schwartz, complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
For the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
A run with Chubb on first down, not going to be a good one. He won't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you've got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. Now throwing on first down here. And yet again, it's McLaurin. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. 2nd down and 3. On the draw, it's Gibson. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. They'll run with Gibson. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
The man in motion is Brown. On 2nd and goal, Powell. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. So part one of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for two.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
So Washington now with an important two-point conversion attempt. Now receiver in motion left. Howell throwing for it. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the fourth. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
The Browns drive about to get started. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man complete. Touchdown. Anthony Schwartz with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Browns strike quickly to take the lead here in the fourth. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Extra point by York is up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the fourth quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. On first down, Howell. That's out to the flat for Gibb. And he loses the football a second time. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over. 29-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown of the night. And the Browns are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You're trailing by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard in doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one good for 26 and a first down. And once more, Howell back to the air. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice short tackle.
To throw again on second down. Howell. And his throw is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Howell throwing on third down here. And he finds McLaurin. And the Commanders are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle.
And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders have made it a 1-score game again here in the fourth. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game here in the fourth quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at the earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Watson off play action. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. I'm surprised with the lead in a 1-score game this late. They're even putting the ball in the air in that situation.
Almost makes me feel like the head coach might be second-guessing himself by not clicking on and saying, all we're doing is running it here. But give credit to the guys on defense. They made a play that they absolutely had to have to give themselves a chance to be in this game.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down. Howell to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. De'Ami Brown, 67 yards. And the Commanders are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. To throw, Watson. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 35.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And he'll get them inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And again, it's Chubb. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 103 yards on the ground for him now, as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. And Chubb will try the middle here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. Well, the entire game coming down to this kick from Cade York. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And it's pandemonium in the dog pound as the Browns are going to win the football game. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Browns, the playoffs may be out of reach, but the win gets them to 4-8 on the year. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Washington, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they